to buy one earring, you would buy this for sure. When I was looking at my details yesterday, I didn't gauge the sheer size, the length, the drama, the flirtiness, the Hollywood appeal of these earrings, and they are all of that and more. They are bigger and bolder and better, small graduating to larger. This is a, in terms of length, about 3 5/16 of an inch in length. So you've got a nice amount of size there. Jennifer even admitted a few moments ago that not only were they light, but you fell asleep with them earlier.
Yes. I was in the green room and I had this on from the previous show and I fell asleep like this. And then I woke up and I felt something like brush against my neck. And I was like, oh my God. But I mean, that's the reason why they call these shoulder dusters. Because they, you know, brush against your shoulders.
Well, they are amazing. So even though there's a lot of turquoise there, these are a lighter weight. I mean, clearly based upon the response, and we have now fewer than 100 with everybody on the phone, based upon the response, you see this as well. Appraised value, the lowest one that came in was $295. This is 925 sterling silver. It's articulated, so each individual piece moves independently, but it faces forward. Whether you have shorter hair, longer hair, wearing your hair up, these are gonna get a lot of attention. If we took away the price, I don't think anybody would ever guess that they were $149.98. And I think that's where the real appeal is here. There is such beauty to these. I mean, Sue looks $1 million, as does Jennifer, and you absolutely can do as well. It's $30 to be able to get this home. Dee is joining us live. Hi, Dee, on Facebook. Dee's saying about the bracelet we just had, that all you need is a crown on your head.
Yes.
Yeah. Lisa, great to see you. Thank you, I'm doing well. Brittany's here, hi, how you doing? So, Rose also. With everyone on the phone line here, guys, we're down to about 4 dozen, so this will be a complete sellout. In terms of the back, it's pierced with your clutch backs. So in terms of, do we know who did these?
Greg Yazzie.
Oh, Greg, now, have you met with Greg in the past?
Yes, I have. There he is right there. When I went to Chaco Canyon during the June, July, he was doing some of his work, and I met up with him, Mike Smith, and Emerson. And it was funny because on Emerson's side, you had country music, and on his side, Greg's side, you had like hard metal music.
Like heavy metal?
Yes.
What they were listening to?
I mean, he didn't want to take a picture because he was shy, and he wanted to, you know, continue to do his work. Yeah. But I'm like, come on, you know, take a picture. Finally, you take a picture. He goes, okay, then no more. So he was doing his work again. But I mean, just to see these guys do work like this, it's just very breathtaking. And he's been silversmithing actually since he was 13. He's 44 right now. He lives in Pruitt, New Mexico with his 6 children. And Greg says that one day he will pass on the silversmithing trade to them as his grandparents passed it on to him. And as a young silversmith, Greg would help his grandparents by making bezels and matching stones. And as time got on, he got better and was eventually able to make his own designs. And so he likes to work with jewelry, and he always said that he loved this part of his culture.
Well, it's something that's celebrated. I mean,
yes.
You know, I mean, look how pretty this is. Whether it's spring, winter, fall, summer, it doesn't matter. These earrings are going to get a lot of wear. And I think, you know, if you look at Sue, I mean, where's Sue going? I mean, I like to play that game sometimes. You're out and about, you see somebody walking, you guess what's their story. I mean, what's Sue's story today? I feel like Sue, she's met somebody new. She's met somebody new. She's going for a dinner date. And she's got her brand new earrings on. She's had her hair done beautifully. She's ready to go. She thinks this is the one. I can tell, Jennifer. She thinks this is the one. And with those earrings, he's sure to fall for her. The reality is these earrings are for every woman of every age. They are an ageless style. But don't underestimate the size of these pieces. By the way, in 60 seconds, we will reveal and present the ring. The ring is 60 seconds away. It will be first come, first serve. There is no advanced order, extended delivery. One of our all-time best-selling rings from Chaco Canyon at a price that is undeniable. Undeniable. If you just want a little treat after a long holiday weekend, if you want to buy something for you, I've got it for you, trust me. Remembering that at 6:50 Eastern time, if you only buy one item in the hour, Well, we've got it coming up. It's a this day only cuff. I'm gonna leave my earrings out here because these will actually go back so beautifully with the ring that we are about to reveal. The Zuni cuff, a few of you are asking about it. I'll show it to you here as well. There are about 15 or so to go around. I mean, look, take the Zuni cuff and pair it back to every single piece that we've done, and it's gonna look